But you're always in the paper if you're famous. It's never that bad. The last thing that annoyed me even slightly was the Sun called up and said, "Oh, we know what house you've bought." I went, "Yeah." I said, "We're going to show pictures of it tomorrow." I said, "Why are you going to do that?" And they went, "Well, we're going to be nice about it." And I thought, well, they could have just done it, but they've warned me, and keep on side, and I've got a good relationship, I think. And I went, oh, "Okay." I said, "But don't say where it is, and don't say how much it is." So I did it the next day and went, "It's in Hampstead, and it cost $2.5 million," which really annoyed me, because it cost $3.5. And when you put in for planning permission, you put in, what, do a swimming pool, put that in, that's public record. No one told me, so it just appeared in 2 papers the next day, right? But even though they had the same little bit of information, they embellished in completely different ways, right? And the first paper went with, "Gervais is in hot water with the neighbours," right? "They fear my swimming pool's going to be so big that London's going to cave in," right? The second one went with, "Gervais is a splash with the neighbours. They love me," right? And this is an example I have to sort of like fill column inches and sort of make... It's quite sweet, really. Gervais forked out more than $2 million for the house in September. He is said to want to settle down with his girlfriend of 20 years. That's settled enough, isn't it? Leaving the wild lifestyle behind him. Now, you're not to know this, but I am usually in my pyjamas by 6 p.m. I come home from work, the telly goes on, the pyjamas go on. Even if there's company, it's, you know what I mean? My house, my rules, pyjamas on. And if we've got, relatives round, Jane says, "Oh, not the ones with the holes in." That's all she asks. Do you know what I mean? You don't need your mother-in-law, when you bend over, it's like the last chicken in the window going, "He's got a tumour." You know what I mean? It's just, no. But you don't want to throw them away. Your pyjamas, they get nicer with age. They get soft, don't they? And they fit you just right. No one's going to see them. I actually invented a game with an old pair of pyjamas with a hole in them. No, you know when it gets sort of really thin and the guy, then suddenly a little hole appears. You get like a 1/4 of an inch sort of hole. And when blokes are watching telly, we sort of doodle. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why. It's sort of like a comfort thing. I think it's anthropological. I think chimps do it. Not on me, on them. I don't. No good to me. They haven't got opposable thumbs or anything, so... I have never tried to get a chimp to wank me off, so let's nip that one in the bud. And I discovered, right, that if I pulled out miscellaneous bits of skin, right, it could be a bit of scrotal sac, could be a hint of foreskin. You only put it out 1/2 inch, you've got to guess which, it's called offal Jim Jam. No. And you just pull it out, just 1/2 inch, right, and you turn to your girlfriend and you go, "Offal Jim Jam, cock or ball?" It might be genius. I'm thinking of selling that to Waddingtons. If only for the picture on the box of all the family. Grandad doing that, little cock or ball. Granny going... Actually, Grandad could really pull it out, couldn't he? Shut up, you'll be playing it at home. Offal Jim Jam, cock or ball. But the trouble about rumour is, if it's written down, someone will believe it. You could have the most far-fetched, made-up, impossible, illogical bollocks. And if it's in print, someone will believe it. Just look at the Bible. Old Testament. Oh, that's my favourite. That is a rip-roaring read, the Old Testament. It's brilliant. I like the God in that one. He's a better God. New Testament God, he's a bit wishy-washy. He's a bit modern parent. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit liberal. Turn the other cheek. No, Old Testament God, he's like 50s dad. He takes his belt off and goes, "You fucking what?" "Oh, you know the fucking rules. I've told you. You wound me right up, you muppet. You fucking floods. You, pestilence, fuck off. You, what did you do? That's not too bad. M.E. I've been an atheist since I was about 8 or 9, and when I went to secondary school, by then I knew about natural selection, the Big Bang Theory, carbon dating, and the Earth was 4 billion years old, and so my poor RE teacher, I was the bane of his life. And looking back, he was a bit thick. Right? He was one of those teachers that I thought, fuck it, I'll just keep my head down. You know what I mean? He came in on a motorbike and played table tennis all day with the div kids just to keep, you know what I mean? You know the sort, don't you? And he hated me. He hated me because I was smart and I wouldn't let him get away with any bollocks, right? So when he said things like, and God made the heaven and the earth in 6 days, and the earth is 5,000 years old. No, it isn't. No, it's 4 billion years old. Why? How could he do that? God can do anything. Well, why did he do it in 6? Why did he do it in 5? Let's push him a little bit. And he was saying that everything that happens, God does. He's done everything. Everything that happens, he means to happen. He's on top of it. He's everywhere. And everything he does is good. And I went, well, that's clearly not true either. Why are newborn babies taken from their parents? They're innocent. Why are some people born into abject poverty? And he went, because God moves in mysterious ways. That is the theological equivalent of going, look over there. Ooh. It's not an answer, is it? We swear on the Bible in a court of law still. And if the judge was to say to you, how do you account for the fact you say you're home asleep at midnight, but we found your DNA at the scene of the crime? And you went, I move in mysterious ways. Good night, it won't wash. This is how stupid this teacher was. A kid asked him, he said, sir, why do we swear on the Bible in a court of law? Clearly, the answer is, if you believe in God, if that's your God, you believe in him, you believe he's watching you, you get a guilt trip, you don't lie. He hadn't worked that out. So thinking on his feet, he said, because every law of the land is mentioned in the Bible. I went, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. He went, no, it is. Somewhere in the Bible, every law of this land is mentioned. I went, what, even video piracy, you fucking... One critic, who I know is religious, said, oh, Gervais deconstructs the Bible. That's too easy. I'm thinking, well, it shouldn't be. If you believe in that, you think it's a serious doctrine, it shouldn't be too easy to deconstruct. You can't do it with a maths book. You can't look through a book and go, listen to this. Listen to go, oh. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. What cunt wrote that? He said that God is everywhere and in everything. He's solidly through the universe. And I came prepared. I thought, this'll end it. I came in like a little smart ass and went, sir, is God in a vacuum which has been scientifically proved to have nothing in it? He went, yep. That's it. I thought, well, I can't win then. So I started saying, is he up my arse? Is he up your arse? The clever stuff hadn't worked. I was going, sir, is God up all our arses? Including Richard Gere's. It must be crowded up there, mustn't it? The New Testament is founded on the belief that Jesus is half man, half God, born of a virgin womb. And I think that particular little rumour came about with Mary on the back foot. Awkward questions about the old pregnancy from Joseph. Never cancel. I had a gig in Dublin a couple of months back. O2 Arena, Dublin, 10,000 seats, sold out way in advance, getting towards the gig, looking forward to it. A few days before, all the planes start being grounded because this volcanic ash cloud. A volcano goes off in Iceland and we can't get on a plane. What's the point of fucking Iceland, really? I thought it went bankrupt. Just get rid of it. It's no good. It's not doing... Just fill in the fucking volcanoes with concrete. In fact, tarmac the whole country. And make it a car park for real Europe. Waste of space. So yeah, and sort of like pop stars and that coming to England were cancelling. They couldn't get on. And I was thinking, I can't cancel. I've got to get there. So I hired a helicopter to and from Dublin. Cost me £12,000 just because I couldn't bear to let anyone down or take the ferry. Yeah, they were still running fine, sure. I think there were extra ones they'd put on, but that would have meant mixing with the general public. And so, this is about as close as I ever want to be to no offence, scum. No. I don't know if anyone was affected by the volcanic ash cloud, but I had friends all around the world that couldn't get back. They missed weddings and funerals, and they had to put themselves up in hotels that they hadn't budgeted for weeks on end, and they couldn't get their money back because the airlines were saying, no, we can't pay you because the insurance companies won't pay us because they're saying it's an act of God. What isn't an act of God? If you believe in God, that's sort of a definition of him, isn't it? That he does everything. He's all-powerful, and he's everywhere. He invented everything. Before he was around, there was nothing. He invented time, space, everything, okay? So he's across it all. Nothing happens by mistake. No, he's not absent-minded. A volcano going off. It's not like him going, oh, fuck, I left the oven on. That doesn't... I know these insurance companies that know what is and isn't an act of God. How do they decide? Have they got a hotline to God? They call God up, do they? And go, ring, ring. Hello? Hello? Could I speak to God, please? Speaking. Oh, what? I didn't think you'd answer the phone yourself. What do you want? Sorry, that volcanic ash cloud, was that you? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was an act of me, all right? So I shouldn't pay out. Don't fucking pay in a penny, son, no. Oh, jeez. While I've got you here, did you make a tree fall on Steve Baxter's car? A lot of Steve Baxters. 2 Acacia Road, Hounslow. It happened on the 3rd of June, 2:15. 3rd of June, 2:15. No, that wasn't me. I was in Africa then, giving AIDS to babies. He does everything. I love books of quotations. I read them for pleasure. I've got a few of these compilations, and one of my heroes is Winston Churchill. And when I read "Give us the tools and we will finish the job," I thought, how inspiring. And when I read "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few," I thought, how patriotic. And when I read "It is a good thing for an uneducated man to read books of quotations," I thought, you cheeky fat git. People say that Oscar Wilde is the greatest genius that's ever lived. Let's test that. Here's one of his. All women become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That is his. That sounds a bit gay to me. Just, I don't know. Give it another go, isn't it, one? I couldn't help it. I can resist everything except temptation. That sounds gay as well. I want to start that with an ooh. I want to go, oh, I couldn't help it. You know? And I want to end it with, I can resist everything except temptation. Chance to be a fine thing. Do you know what I mean? And when he went through customs all those years ago in New York, and the customs officer, just doing his job, said, have you anything to declare? Oscar Wilde famously said, nothing but my genius. It's not witty. He planned that. I bet the first time he went through customs in a foreign country, he was all, yes, sir, no, sir. Anything to declare? No. On you go. Thank. Oh, I just thought of something fucking brilliant to say. Oh. Excuse me, can I go? No, no. Oh, God. He had to wait weeks in those days, back on a boat to England, planning it. Anything to declare? Nothing but my genius. I'll be in a book of quotations, won't I? So he gets there again, finds the same bloke, goes on, bloke goes, on you go. Oh, didn't even fucking ask me that time. Excuse me, they didn't ask me for anything to declare. Random. Oh, fucking random. Back on the boat, 3 weeks, planning it, anything to declare, no genius. Gets there again, right? Gets in the same bloke's queue. This time he looks all shifty, so he gets called out. And the bloke goes, did you buy anything? That's not the question. Just say, have you anything to declare? Have you anything to declare? Nothing but my genius. Who's the butt plugs? They're mine.